I'm Sean Mbrak with the HGP Sports. We begin with breaking news. Ex-FIFA official admits to taking bribe and racketeering. More in this report. Former FIFA Executive Committee member Chuck Blazer told a U.S. federal judge that he and others on the governing body's ruling panel agreed to receive bribes to vote for South Africa to host the 2010 World Cup. U.S. prosecutors unsealed a 20-page transcript Wednesday of the November 2013 hearings in U.S. District Court, during which Blazer pleaded guilty to racketeering and other charges. Blazer told U.S. District Judge that beginning in or around 2004 and continuing through 2011, he and others on the FIFA Executive Committee agreed to accept bribes in conjunction with the selection of South Africa as the host nation for the 2010 World Cup. Blazer was the number 2 official of soccer's North and Central American and Caribbean region from 1990 to 2011 and served on FIFA's Executive Committee from 1997 to 2013. South African Football Association President Molefi Oliphant sent a letter to FIFA Secretary General Jerome Valk in 2008 asking FIFA to withhold $10 million from the budget of the 2010 World Cup organizers and to use the money to finance a diaspora legacy program under the control of then CONCACAF President Jack Warner. South Africa Sports Minister Felike Mabula denies the money was a bribe and says it was an above-board payment to help soccer development in Caribbean region. The Golden Jaguars played an intra-squad game yesterday at the Lenora Track and Field facility. The game was played to select a shortened 18-man squad for the first of the CONCACAF's Russia 2018 World Cup qualifiers against St. Vincent on June 10 away and June 14 home at the National Stadium. Details in this report.
The 30-man squad was divided into 2 teams, the Burnham and Jagni 11, in honor of the founding fathers of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Burnham 11 was the stronger of the 2 teams, and they came out victorious, winning the practice match 3-1. UK-based Neil Dans made a good challenge for a place in the team after opening the scoring for Burnham 11 with a good finish at close range. Sheldon Holder then doubled the victor's lead with a good lofted strike over goalkeeper Derek Carter. A cheeky finish after hitting the post a few minutes earlier. Jagan 11 played well, but were unlucky with a few offside goals and poor conversion. Emery Welshman scored a lone goal with a perfect header from a corner set piece. Marcel Barrington then converted a foolish penalty that was conceded by the Jagan 11 outfit in the dying stages of the game. The selected squad will be announced at a later date by the Guyana Football Federation.
Guinness Greatest of the Street National Playoffs set to kick off on Friday, June 5. 16 teams will compete to represent Guyana at the regional tournament. More in this report. Guinness Greatest of the Street National Playoffs of the various zones champion will culminate at 3 venues on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guinness brand manager Lee Baptiste foresees a competitive weekend of street football with the top teams.
We are down to 16 teams, 16 of the best teams in the Guinness Greatest of the Streets National Championships. At the starting of the season, we had challenged ourselves to expand the tournament in two other areas, Berbice and West Coast Demerara. I'm happy to say this afternoon that we have made good on that challenge. For not only we were able to take football to these areas, but we also promoted constructive social activities within these areas.
The format and accumulation of points were outlined by Troy Mendoza, Director of Petro Organization.
We're going to have a point system where a straight win, that is, the game finish and you win the game, you get 3 points. The winning team gets 3 points and the losing team gets 0 points. If the game goes to penalty kicks, the team that win get 2 points and the losing team get 1 point. At the end of the night, the winners and the runner-up from each group is going to compete the following day in the semifinals and final spot.
Banks DIH PRO Troy Peters, on behalf of Banks DIH, expressed thanks for the overwhelming support from the various communities during the zone's championships. Friday's opening fixture will kickstart the knockout round of the playoffs at Port Roy Tarmac, West Demerara. Saturday, the group stage round will be played at the Cultural Center Tarmac and the semifinals. Third place and final is set for Demerara Park on Sunday. $1 million in cash prizes and trophies will be distributed to the teams first to fourth. HGP Sports spoke with some of the Golden Jaguars players after the final intra-squad match. More from Calvin Chatman.
AGP Sports spoke with star English Conference League player Samuel Cox, who is vying for a place in the Golden Jaguars squad. Cox, who plays either left back or central defensive midfield, is the captain of the recently promoted Boreham Wood FC. The 24-year-old former Tottenham Hotspurs man is delighted to be with his homeland team.
I'm over the moon, overwhelmed and proud and honoured to be representing my family and the country, and I'm just enthusiastic to get going and make an impact here for the country and hopefully impress.
One of the foreign-based goalkeepers explained what he believes is the only difference between UK and Guyanese goalkeepers.
The only difference with the UK goalkeepers and the Caribbean goalkeepers is that we talk a lot more on the pitch. So, if you watch me play, I'm always shouting at the defenders or shouting at the forwards to just trying to demand and tell them what to do. And I just hope to bring my experience from the UK and, show the other Guyanese goalkeepers, and vice versa. There's a lot of stuff they're showing me, so we're all helping each other to become better goalkeepers.
All the players believe that the squad is gelling together well.
We have to take every game as a step. I think it's going good. Everyone encouraging one another, and that's good for the team.
FIFA's current corruption scandal can see the arrest net widens. Jeffrey Webb relief of his duty as president of CONCACAF. Details in this report. Recent corruption scandals that rocked world football's governing body and the arrest of several top officials last week in Zurich will have some impact on the federations. That's the view of chairman of the GFF Normalization Committee, Clinton Orling.
And CONCACAF officials were arrested in Switzerland last week from United States authorities based on allegations of corruption, racketeering, and other illegal activities, including the president of CONCACAF, Mr. Jeffrey Webb. His arrest has created an enormous vacuum within the CONCACAF family.
Orling was at the time addressing media operatives at a press conference on Wednesday. He mentioned, too, that the dragnet of the U.S. authorities could widen.
Being carried out by the United States Department of Justice. The indictment, the document, it's available anywhere online. You guys can take a copy. From that indictment, no Guyanese official have been identified, but according to the Attorney General of the United States, who's spearheading all the investigations, those arrests that we saw last week are just the beginning, or the tip of the iceberg, and who knows where that would lead. I don't want to pronounce, or I can't pronounce further on their investigations, but as you see, as the days go by, more and more information is coming out, and maybe, presumably, we'll see more arrests moving forward.
Meanwhile, Orling informed that embattled president of CONCACAF, Jeffrey Webb, who was arrested, has been relieved of his post as president.
He has since been dismissed from the position as president of CONCACAF, and simultaneously has been replaced temporarily by an acting president, which is Alfredo Howitt from the Honduras Football Federation.
Also, the announcement by Sepp Blatter that he will be stepping down as FIFA president after having only been elected Friday last for a fifth term is a surprise to the football fraternity.
All the allegations, especially the ones relating to the CONCACAF officials, came as a huge shock and surprise for us. And then yesterday's announcement was prodigious. That was a colossal surprise for anybody. Nobody expected, just a few short days after being elected the president, that Mr. Blatter would have resigned.
Orling assured, though, that there are processes and control mechanisms in place for the continuity of CONCACAF and FIFA. The National Senior Track and Field Championship will run off this Saturday and Sunday with the first major athletics event to be held at the Lenora Track and Field Center. More from Calvin Chatman.
Athletes from top local club, the Guyana Defence Force, were at the synthetic track fine-tuning their fitness and techniques for the first ever athletics championships to be hosted at Lenora. Top long and triple jump athlete Leon Bishop spoke about his preparations as he looks to extend his unbeaten streak.
Well, preparation been going a bit okay, but now we're here preparing on the track, so the preparation is coming to scratch. I should be in good shape for this weekend, National Senior Championship, where I'll be going to win. I have never lost at the championship in the senior category, so I don't have no intention of losing there in 2015.
GDF sprint star Davin Fraser, who burst the scene after the Joint Services Track and Field Championships, where he ran a blistering 100 meters, spoke briefly to AGP Sports.
Well, I aiming to run a nice time this weekend on the synthetic track. It's the first time I'm competing on synthetic track over at Lenora. Willing to run a nice 10.2, second in the 100 meter.
Leslin Beard, who broke his previously set national record at the Hampton Games in Trinidad last month, has vowed to topple the record once more.
That concludes our sport, but before we take a look at the weather forecast, let me inform you that my colleague Calvin Chapman will be taking the desk tomorrow and in future as we work together to bring you HGP Sports. Now for a look at the weather forecast.